All right. Beside H-1B, there's also some other visa types that are commonly used for someone to stay and work in the U.S. One other alternative would be O1, O1A, and O1B. O1B are for those who are in art, who does art, or who work in the motion picture industry. O1A is for everybody else, like say business, science, education, all kinds of other fields. The difference is there's no annual quota. You can file for O1 anytime throughout the year. That's a big benefit, right? But you have to show you meet certain criteria, like 3 out of the 8 in O1A and 3 out of the 6 for O1B. You have to show the extraordinary ability. So for the Biden administration, they have released quite some policy updates since like President Biden took office. The goal was to relax this criteria a little bit, especially for STEM major students, so that they can be more easily qualified for the O1A. However, they cannot really change the law. So the law remains the same. It's just like how we interpret the criteria is a little bit more relaxed. Okay.
Marta, before you go to CPT, I do want to ask you a questions. Before today's session, we were kind of discussing about immigration policy changes regarding O1s. And also, you also mentioned something very interesting is that maybe the policy are changing for EB1 as well. So since today we're talking about green cards, do you want to share also some other insights when it comes to like changes to EB1?
Sure, thank you for asking, Ryan. Yeah, actually this week, just a couple of days ago, the USCIS released a new policy update regarding EB1A. I don't want to get into too much technicality here today, but the overall idea is they are also relaxing some of the criteria for EB1A, or maybe just clarify a little bit more that certain criteria are more relaxed than a lot of the applicants think they are. So we have seen a lot of policy updates from the Biden administration between 2022 and 2023 to make the rule more relaxed. So that is a trend, which is a positive thing. That is supposed to attract more talents to stay within the U.S. That is the goal. However, practically speaking, unfortunately, we don't see a lot of the first-line officers really implement those updates that well. We do still get to see some RFPs like quoting some outdated policy language, very unfortunately. So there does seem to be a little bit discrepancy of what we see in the news, like, hey, there's an update in the policy, yet when it comes to the actual cases, some officers do not seem to get it. If that happens, so that's not just for you, it does happen to some other petitioners as well. What we would do is to just respond by reminding the officer, hey, the policy manual has been updated. The current policy manual says this, this should be the guideline for current adjudication on those cases. If still that doesn't work, then unfortunately, maybe some of the cases would have to be taken to the federal court to be litigated. I hope, your cases do not have to go that far and can get a more smooth adjudication, like a smooth approval at the initial stage. But yeah, just from a policy perspective, there have been some very good updates in the past couple years from the Biden administration.